Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Yesterday, I was trying to get this out yesterday, man. I couldn't, but this park, Biscuit Basin National Park, had an explosion. One of the geysers that hasn't exploded ever that I know of, um, exploded. It was something to see, and take a look at this. There's all kind of the Earth is letting us know, man, that the time is getting short.
Shit. Run!
Hot water.
Go.
Oh, look at that.
Shit! Run! Mama. She
That's
ran to the other
wild.
side. Holy shit. Baba.
Man, look at that. Can you imagine if you was there and that thing just boom? Because there's a few geysers there that go off all the time. Old Faithful, and I think there's some other ones that they have it timed where it's going off all the time. And basically, Yellowstone's a big old volcano, and that they're going by a section of geyser that hasn't been known for blowing up like that, and then they get there and they walking on the boardwalk, boom, it blows up. Look at that. Now, remind you, that water is boiling hot. It is hot. There's hot water, hot rocks flying. And let me tell you something that was super awesome. The grace of God was on these folks because zero people got injured. I gotta praise God for that. Zero folks got injured doing this unplanned explosion. Look at that. Look at that.
Cover in the sun.
That's steam now. Look at that. Wow.
Baba.
Look at that.
Baba.
Now, to give you some perspective, I'm gonna do this. I found an older video that where someone kind of did a tour just to really kind of give you an idea of what it looked like beforehand. Sorry, my bad, y'all. Hold on. Shift this. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at this one here. My bad. Let me switch it. Boom. All right. Look at this before. So this says before the explosion. Someone posted this a year ago. So this Biscuit Basin trees and geyser located. It's form of unique features, interesting, fascinating facts about it. Sapphire pool shell. I mean, who channel is this? This is LTMT plus. Y'all go over there and get them some love. There's some hikers. In addition to the hot spring geyser, Bismarck stains thermal features like for mallows, mud spots. Okay, the steam releases gases, mud spots, acidic hot springs. I was wondering if they was going to say anything about it ever exploding before. The activity of the geysers and hot springs can vary over time, but some becoming more or less active or even dormant. It's ever evolving landscape shaped by the forces of nature. Yep. So I mean, again, I don't think they. I don't think this. I don't know if this thing has ever exploded, man. Look at this. But I want you to get this. So you saw where that initial pier was at, right, from the first video when they was walking. So take a look at this. This gives you an idea, right, where they was at. That those folks was right over here. and they was running off the pier. Gives you an idea of how calm it is now and what it was looking like when that joker just exploded. Oh man, Yellowstone is beautiful. Can't wait to visit, man. We actually I can't wait to visit. Let me take a little pause right here. So we traveled the country for a little bit, about a year in an RV, going up and down, and we never did get to Yellowstone. And so I can't wait to go to Yellowstone. So this is the hiker travel adventure in me. Just super excited to look at this firsthand walkthrough of this area of Yellowstone because I can't wait to go. I wish I would have been able to use my own footage. Uh, but living vicariously through LTMT. So this is where they was at, right? They ran off the pier. They got about right here because this thing was blowing. And this gives you an idea of what it was looking like. This is what it looked like before that thing exploded. No one knew that that thing was getting ready to explode. And it is beautiful. Beautiful, man. Look at that. And this is you can see this way explosion's at. Not on this side, but on the left side of this pier. It took off over here. Wow. Right over here. Boom. This where it went down. It went from that to what we just saw. Beautiful. 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 What does it mean? You know? Um, Jesus said that we will see signs, right? In the earth. There will be earthquakes and crazy weatherings of various places. I saw something about another geyser exploding somewhere else. I think in like Netherlands or something. Um, Matter of fact, let me go there. I mean, not the Netherlands deal, but I want to show you. I want to show you. Let's go to Matthew, because Matthew 24, the Olivet Discourse in Matthew 24, um, in my opinion, differs from Luke 21. Because Luke 21 is not the Olivet Discourse. Sounds very similar, but it really isn't because Jesus wasn't on the mount when he gave that. But look at this. Let's take a look here. I want to show you some stuff. My bad. Here we go. So, um, Matthew 24, verse 3. Now he sat on the mountain of olives, and the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming at the end of the age? Uh, and Jesus answered and said to them, take heed that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying that I am the Christ, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars, rumors of wars, and see, you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences, earthquakes in various places. Various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. Many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. And because lawlessness was abound, the love of many will grow cold. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as witnesses to all the nations. And the end, and then the end will come. Now, this is where I want to lean in because um, many people say, "Oh, this is the end times." We see all these. We see earthquakes in various places. We see wars and rumors of wars. But clearly, right here, Jesus is saying that this is not the end yet. This is the beginning of sorrows. And just to kind of really pull it together some more, I'm gonna go over here to a similar account, but not quite the same. We're gonna go to Luke 21. I think it's Luke 21. Could be. I could be off. One of those. Yeah, I am off. It ain't Luke 21. Okay, Jesus. No, I think it's earlier than that. It was Luke 21. I was right. Luke 21. Oh, I didn't go down further. Okay. Okay. Let's go there. I was right. So, so they asked him, saying, "Teacher, when would this be? When would these things be? What sign will there when there will be these things that are about to take place?" He said, "Take heed, uh, to take heed that you not be deceived. For many will come my name, saying, I am he, and the time has drawn near. Therefore, do not go after them. But when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified, for these things must come to pass first. But the end will not come immediately." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes in various places, famines, pestilences, and there will be many fearful sights and great signs from heaven. But before all these things, they will lay their hands on you and persecute you, deliver you up to the synagogues and prisons, and you will be brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake." Okay. But it says, but before these things, right? So this is actually laying the foundation before all of this is to occur. What you find is the first two sections, this Luke 21 verses 7 uh, through 11, are the same is the same connection to Matthew 24, but you see Jesus place that whole entire section right here saying, "But before all these things, they will lay their hands on you and persecute you and deliver you up to the synagogues and prisons," which is very, very specific. And I'm not getting into that teaching today, but for the sake of this first section, we're talking about the beginning of sorrows. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the beginning of sorrows for sure. And the beginning of sorrows, you can arguably say, has been going on for a long time, but it is the beginning of sorrows. And just like Jesus articulated, I believe it was in 24, and he gave the parable of the fig tree or the seasons, right? The parable of the fig tree. Let's take a quick glance at that. Want to just kind of build this case a little bit here. The parable of the fig tree. Now, learn this parable of the fig tree. When this branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer is near. So also you will see these things. Know that it is near at the doors. For surely I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. And what was Jesus saying? Jesus saying that as you see that the limbs of the fig tree become tender, and then you know that summer is near. It is shifting from winter or from spring into summer, right? It is there's a shift, and so we don't know exactly what day it becomes summer, right? According to the fig tree, we don't know exactly which day it becomes summer, but we know that there's a transition from this season to the next. And so when these signs start to happen faster and more frequent, we know that we are getting closer to Jesus picking us up into us being brought into the tribulation. So um wow, it's exciting times, y'all. As we just came off Burrow, right? We just came off Hurricane Burrow down here in the south. And then you had Burrow, you had Burrow being a record hurricane, uh blowing through blowing through the Caribbeans and everything, and then getting to Texas and ripping through all the way up through the country. So we had Burrow, we had this geyser blow up that hasn't ever blown up that we know of, and I could be very wrong, right? But it's definitely wasn't often that this geyser blows up. So for it to blow, it caught everybody off guard. Um, it wasn't common. It actually roasted the walk path there, and so man, these as we see these the earth going through its birthing pangs of the Messiah returning. and us getting closer to the end of the age, what we know is as we see this frequent happening faster and more occurrence, then we know we're coming closer. Another thing that I noticed, me and my wife talked about this when it comes to birth, because we've had our last three kids, two kids at home. And it was interesting to watch the cadence of the birth process, where in it where in the beginning, as she got closer to getting, as she was moving into labor, she would have contractions for a certain amount of time, and then a rest period, and then contractions, then a rest period. And it was really predictable and timable, those cadences between the contractions. Then eventually the contraction just came, and it didn't go away. There was no other rest break in between. And then when we got to that point, it was a full on deep contraction. And then our little one was here. So I find it very, very interesting how Jesus uses that language in the process, in the articulation of him returning. So I just want to encourage you. What do you do with stuff like this? You're gonna have so many people saying, "Man, this is it. The end is near," and getting fearful. This is a time to get busy for the Lord. If you have been on the fence about anything that God has placed in your heart, this is the time now. There's no better time now to do what God has called you to do. Get up, pray, get off of it, and run. Don't let fear continue to rob you. God has a plan that He has for you, and He wants you to go forth and accomplish it. His word will go out and it will not return to Him void. He will use you or a rock. You might as well let Him use you, right? And you can take part of that blessing and the inheritance of hearing what the Lord has called you to do for his kingdom, going forth and doing it, and then receiving the reward when we get to heaven. You know, so I just want to encourage you. This is what you do when you hear about these signs. Take amazement, man. You can be in awe that the word of God is true and it is factual and it is happening just as He said it, and it's just as He said it. It's going to happen, and it is happening, and we're being aware that it's happening. Run after Him with all that you got. You know. So we'll see y'all next video. Peace.